Ethiopia, the nation of fairness, the symbol of justice, the origin of mankind. Ethiopia Today is the English-language news channel which brings the latest from Ethiopia, mainly focusing on economy and IT digitalization.
In our today's news, we will cover 3 areas of interest in the current Ethiopian situation as follow. The TPLF is abusing the recently declared unilateral humanitarian ceasefire by the Federal Government of Ethiopia. Hana Gobezie condemned the TPLF's use of children as soldiers. The Federal Government of Ethiopian is reviewing its unilateral humanitarian ceasefire decision because of its minimal impact resulting from the wrong understanding and propaganda of TPLF. Hana Gobezie, the Portuguese politician and former member of European Parliament, states that she is so worried about the current situation in Ethiopia. The TPLF is using children as soldiers, and condemned such cruelty and criminal act of the TPLF and denounced the group as terrorist and asked for the intervention of international communities. Hana Gobezie, better known as Hana Gobezie by many Ethiopians. Hana Gobezie in Amharic is to mean Hana the brave or hero. She is one of most favored friends of Ethiopia and liked and respected by many Ethiopians for the brave measure she took to denounce the government intimidation on the 2005 national election and the hidden deception and cruel acts to stifle democracy in then government of EPRDF. She reflected the torments and miseries the broad mass of Ethiopia endured after the national election. She stood by the side of those who were deceived, tortured and languished in prisons. Hana was a member of election observation team of European Commission. That's why many people were heard saying that the Ethiopian people owe Hana Gobezie a favor. The government of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia has shown to the world its good intentions for the well-being of the people of the Tigray region by declaring unilateral humanitarian ceasefire. The government believed that the ceasefire would cease hostilities and give chances to farmers to take advantages of the rainy season while the people get humanitarian assistance without alleged impediments, as Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed states on his Twitter account. The government of Ethiopia has paid sacrifices in declaring the ceasefire, and it was a choice made consciously to give peace a last chance. But true to its form, TPLF chose violence to peace. It has demonstrated that it cannot survive without engaging in conflict. It has continued to use child soldiers by numbing them through drugs. The Ethiopian Defense Force is obliged to protect these kids. The ceasefire could not bear desired fruits due to people who could not appreciate the sacrifices that the government of Ethiopia has paid for the sake of the people of Tigray. Given the irresponsible actions of the TPLF that poses a great danger to the sovereignty of the country, the government is determined to curb this threat. We will facilitate the humanitarian works and defend the country from the joint attacks by its domestic and external enemies, as PM underlined. The TPLF junta was lamenting before the ceasefire that the government of Ethiopia had been using starvation as a weapon of war. However, when the federal government declared the unilateral humanitarian ceasefire, the junta soon forges the famine accusations and intensified its military activities. The decision to withdraw military operation from Mekelle viewed as if the TPLF is winning on the war front. On the other side, this costly ceasefire decision of the Ethiopian government has not been given due attention and media coverage by the international community or most high-profile news medias and agencies. Furthermore, the international community soon forges its pronouncements on looming famine in the Tigray region. Nothing has been said about the terrorist TPLF's military activities and its act of recruiting children as soldiers. The international community still turns blind eye on TPLF and pointing rather its fingers at such a compassionate government of Ethiopia. No government has shown compassion level of such magnitude for TPLF. Even the denounced terrorist TPLF makes humanitarian corridors as centers of military conflicts, as the news from PM office reveals. Taking all matters that unfold after the declaration of the unilateral humanitarian ceasefire, the federal government would like to announce that it is ready to take all the proper action to the well-being of Ethiopians and the nation. The government calls on the people of Ethiopia to protect itself from influences of unsubstantiated information and the propaganda machine of the junta, whose remaining power is just fabricating falsified information. The people of Ethiopia should understand that our domestic and external enemies are working in unison to sow dissent and mistrust among us. The government urges the people of Ethiopia to stand together and continue supporting the ENDF in every way possible and defend the country's sovereignty and reverse the threat posed by internal and external enemies of the country. Why is such huge pressure on the government of Abiy? What is wrong with him? Why is such a hate while most Ethiopians love and respect him? He is a true hero of Ethiopia who loves his country with great vision. Abiy wants to see a prosperous, united and strong Ethiopia. He is a true leader. Abiy leads the nation by example, and he is so humble and filled with true human characters and compassion the country has ever seen, though there were so many remarkable leaders in the past who loved and served Ethiopia from the bottom of their heart. That is why his party, Prosperity, overwhelmingly wins on the recent general election of Ethiopia. Abiy's party took more than 94% of the seats in the federal parliament. On the national election day, Ethiopians queued the whole day long rushing before the closure of election centers. The election board had extended the time to give a chance for every citizen wanting to elect the party of his or her interest. This election was Ethiopia's first attempt at a free and fair vote, and also most international observers witnessed and signified this. This clearly indicates the public endorsement for Prime Minister Abiy, his party and his government. This shows the interests and wishes of the Ethiopian people. The international community, particularly the West, has yet so far from understanding the Nobel Prize winner Abiy. The Ethiopians are on his side because of what he has been doing to unify the country and help the poor Ethiopians. He always keeps his promises to the people of Ethiopia even at the midst such internal and external pressure. Give him time to take the golden opportunity given by the people of Ethiopia and rebuild this nation. What benefits are gained from war and conflicts and magnified ethnic divisions of the people of Ethiopia? Where is the truth? Show whether you truly love the Ethiopian poor. Once again, we would like to remind this to our international friends and partners. Ethiopia and its people have never intervened with internal affairs of any other nations. This country has never went to fight against any unjustified external wars. This is just peace-loving sovereign nation that is rather wanting to fully engaged with development by waging a war on its long-term enemy, poverty. We hope that you appreciate our endeavors in this. That's a true support for this nation. If we are able to feed our poverty-stricken population sufficiently by achieving our development ambitions, then it will save you a lot of money you are spending on us in the form of aid. Does this sound good and help the international community? The Ethiopia Today media has no plan of engaging itself in any political matters as it is not our strong link. Our main concern is the truth. We have been observing so many sided allegations and unfair decisions on the current government of Ethiopia. It has been so difficult for most Ethiopians to comprehend the reasons behind such pressures. Ethiopians love their country and the united Ethiopia is the eyeball for every citizen with no compromisation. This is it for today. Thanks for your attention and time. We hope you enjoyed our presentation. Please give us a like, share and subscribe to our channel. Thanks once again.
Ethiopia, the nation of fairness, the symbol of justice, the origin of mankind. Ethiopia Today is the English language news channel which brings the latest from Ethiopia, mainly focusing on economy and IT digitalization.